Greetings for the last time from South Africa. This was a gift from a South African somewhere again. It's dark because it's dark here. It's night. There it's like probably noon, but it's dark here. 6 hours ahead of you guys. Okay, future of criminal justice. It's the last thing discussed in your book. It's a very thin section, not a lot stated. I want to give you 10 absolutely guaranteed things that are going to happen in the future in America. I don't know if any of them are going to happen, but these are my guesses. Okay, number one, there's going to be an increased use of technology in crime and in criminal justice. Related to that, there'll be, number two, an increased use of social media in crime and criminal justice. Now, that's probably not such an outlandish prediction, either of those. And I'm going to bet that both of those come true. If you ask me to make specific predictions or give you ideas what I'm talking about, your guess is as good as mine. But imagine things that already exist being used in new ways. For example, bugs with cameras, fake bugs, fake birds with cameras to do investigations, to catch people in the act and things like that. Those kind of predictions. Social media is already being used to broadcast live crimes. Police are using it to fake out offenders, to come collect money they didn't win and things like that, to make arrests. So that's the first two. Number three, and sort of similar, is an increased use of forensics in criminal justice investigations. There'll be things that you and I can't even imagine right now. So with the remarkable advances in things like blood technology, DNA testing, blood splatter evidence, ballistics. There are a lot of things we're doing today that we couldn't do 10 or 20 years ago. That's going to continue as well. So that's number three. There are several things that are related. The fourth thing will be an increased demand by the public for significant change in criminal justice. So that'll be related to things like saving money and being more effective at reducing crime. And then related to that, the next is an increased use of scientific knowledge in criminal justice. So you're starting to see states now utilize research that's been produced by criminologists like myself, but lots of others, of course, all around the country. And I've had an effect on some things in North Carolina, for example, but the taxpayers are expecting, just like any government activity, that it be effective and efficient and cost-effective, cost-efficient, worth the money, that it's actually worth the taxes. This is coming from liberals and conservatives, so we'll probably see a lot more demand for that as well. I'm looking at the bugs. We're going to see, unfortunately, the next prediction is more lawsuits against cities and counties for things like excessive use of force by the police. It does exist. It does not exist everywhere. It's actually extremely rare relative to the number of interactions police have with civilians, but it does occur, disproportionately happening to people of color. And so we're going to see more lawsuits against cities and counties. Related to that, the next prediction is that police departments will continue to demand and expect and hold their officers accountable for being trained to confront their implicit biases. So diversity training and things like that will increase. Please keep in mind, I'm not being critical. Cities and counties do not want to hire police officers that make these mistakes. They do not want to pay for these mistakes. And so it's good for police departments to treat citizens with respect and to treat them equally, so that people are likely to assist with investigations and things like that. That whole don't snitch thing has to go away for police to solve things like even murder. All right, related to that, we are going to move away from extremely tough punishments. We're already starting to see this with the removal of death sentences for juveniles, the removal of life sentences for juveniles. We're going to see, related to this, another prediction is states will continue to abolish the death penalty. Right now there's 21. The rest of the states that have it almost never use it, including the one that uses the most, Texas. Even there, the vast majority of their murderers do not get sentenced to death and executed. It's extremely rare. Only 10 states average one execution a year. Only one averages 10 executions a year. That's Texas. But in states that have hundreds and hundreds of murders, one execution or even 10 is extremely rare. So we're starting to see more and more states abolish it. And some of these are quote unquote conservative states that are just doing it to save money because it's just literally a waste of money. It's just not used enough to provide enough justice for victims. It's not used enough to reduce murder enough. It's people are rejecting it for these reasons. Even if you support it, we're going to stop doing it. And then we're going to see more states. The next prediction is more states are going to legalize marijuana. I never thought I'd see this coming. Talk about getting predictions wrong. I said many times in my classes that I didn't think marijuana legalization would even happen in my lifetime. But right now, 11 states have legalized marijuana. Another 25 or 26 have decriminalized it, including North Carolina. And then something like 33 states have medical marijuana. It's spreading from the west to the east. So much of the Northeast now has it, legal marijuana. District of Columbia, and most recently Illinois. It's spreading. Experts are predicting states like New York, New Jersey, and Ohio might be the next one. So Northeast and Midwest continuing. There is discussion in states like North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. I don't expect to see it anytime soon, but I've been wrong before. And those are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Count them to make sure. All of these changes can be halted with a heinous crime, particularly committed against a vulnerable victim like a child, especially if it's extremely violent, brutal, torturous, and particularly when it's committed by someone who's like career criminal. So we see lots of states that made reforms in criminal justice and they've been halted or even reversed just as a result of one crime, one really serious crime that got a lot of news coverage. So those are my 10 predictions. Let's see how many of them come true.